Hello again everyone, and welcome to those that are joining for the first time. So I'm going to put you on gallery view so I can see you instead of me. So just to recap, this is a 3-week introduction to yoga, gentle yoga, gently active, whatever you want to call it. Basically yoga that's tailored towards people that need a more slower pace. Having said that though, those that have done a lot of practice, I'm sure you know you can modify poses to not only make it slightly easier, but also to make it more difficult, to make it more intense. So I'm sure some of you are experienced enough to know that you can go a little bit beyond what I'm showing here. So apologies if it's a little bit slow for you, but as I say, it is an introduction and especially tailored to people that are new to yoga or need a slower practice. So I've been teaching for 27 years now, and practicing for about 35. Still learning, so it's such a beautiful subject, there's so much in it. And what I wanted to do today, because I had such lovely feedback from everyone and lots of people sent me their questions and ailments and things that are troubling them. We're going to do a little bit of focus on shoulders and hands and feet today. And again, if there's anything that you want me to feature or any questions you've got, please do write in and let me know. Next week we'll be focusing on backs. It will be the last session. We'll focus a special session on the back, and then I'm going to carry on the sessions through my own platform, which I'll tell you about in an email after this session. Okay, so let's start. Now, those of you that need the chair to sit on, have your chair ready, because we're going to do some poses where you can both use the chair or not use the chair. If you don't need the chair, just ignore it, okay? If you want to play with using the chair, then that's absolutely fine. The first thing we're going to do with the shoulders, you need to use a wall today, so you'll need to have access to a wall, is we're going to stretch the arms out one at a time, like this, parallel to the shoulder, but we're going to use the wall for a bit of pressure. So I'm going to come close to the camera here and show you my hand. So when we take our arm out to the side, we're going to use the wall to spread the roots of the fingers like this. And I know some of you have got those arthritic joints, and there's that hand condition, isn't it, where the I can't remember what it's called because it's such a long name, the tendons link together. So sometimes the hand doesn't open very well. So we're going to do our best to use the wall to help us open the hand. So if you go over to a wall and just press your palm into the wall, have your fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. And if you're sitting in a chair, if you can't stand, you can still work just as hard as everyone else. You can just sit in a chair and do it. Okay, all right. So make sure that your arm is parallel to your shoulder and that the fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. And don't worry if you don't get all the fingers pressing into the wall. Just do your best. I know there's for some of you there'll be a gap there. And keep this arm, the other arm, stretching down towards the floor so the chest is nice and lifted. All right, and then just relax that hand. The other thing to watch is that you're standing straight. So I can see some of you have got your feet turned out. Have your feet parallel and stand really straight, okay? Now, we're going to take the hand and move it around so that the fingers point backwards. Okay, so once more, hand out to the wall, same arm, fingers point backwards. So we're going for the full rotation in the shoulder. Stand so that you can lift your chest, or sit so you're lifting your chest up. Relax your shoulder down. And then the final turn, see if you can turn the fingers all the way down towards the floor. This is often the one that people either it's a love-hate, this one, because it really gets into this area here of the forearm, which is where a lot of people get the repetitive strain, or tennis elbow. This is brilliant for tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, etc. Too much working on the iPad. This one is good. Okay, and then release that arm down and just give it a little shake and a shrug, and repeat. Just do it once more in your own time. In your own time. So those that have no problem standing, just carry on. Those that are sitting, I'm demonstrating for you now. You can keep the fingers pressed in and then just hold for 10 seconds and then change. Fingers pointing back, 10 seconds. Change. Fingers pointing down, and just do the best you can to get all of the surface area of your hand, spreading those fingers into the wall. All right, and then release. Give that shoulder a nice shake, rolling back. And then we're going to turn round and do the other side. Now I can still see you, so don't think I'm not looking at you. I've got a big mirror here and a screen there, I can still see you, but you can see my back. So let the arm that's not on the wall, stretch that down, even if you're sitting in a chair, and try and keep the arm that's out to the side, keep that shoulder down, shoulder blade forwards. Turn the fingers back. That's it. Keep that elbow joint lifting towards the ceiling. Turn the fingers down towards the floor. That one might be more difficult to get the heel of the hand to touch. I certainly find that one more difficult myself. And then release the arm, give it a little rest, and then repeat. Have another go with that same arm. Keep those knuckles really broad, heel of the hand really broad. And you're helping to stimulate the circulation around the knuckles. If you've got arthritis, yes, there will be some pain in there. If it's rheumatoid, be careful. But if it's just the normal arthritis without the inflammation, just the pain in the joint, then get as much spread in the muscles as you can. Okay, and then release and come down and just give those shoulders a nice roll back. Well done. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, okay, if you're in a chair, what you can do for this is just sit in your chair and stretch your arms back, one at a time or both together, and stretch them as far back as you can. If you're at the wall, just watch from the back. You're going to go close to the wall. So my right leg is really close to the wall. And I'm going to see if I can take my hand back. So the fingers are pointing back. And I walk my hand as far up as I can, but no higher than your shoulder. And definitely, if you're tipping forwards like that, keep the hand down. So there shouldn't be any pain in your shoulder joint when you do this. There might be a stretch, but not a sharp pain. So basically, you're trying to bring your arm flat to the wall like that. Okay, so just see if you can manage that with your right arm. If it's too much, then come away. So go as close to the wall as you can with your right leg. Close, yeah, like that. So you're trying to get your right shoulder bone on the wall. That's it. And I know space is a bit tricky, a bit challenging at times, but go as close as you can. That's it. And then your head is looking straight forwards. Your arm is back. Take your left arm, if you've got the right arm on the wall, and slide the left arm around the back of your waist like that. Slide the left arm around the back of the waist. Yes. All right, well done. And then release and come out. And then change sides. Change sides. So if you've got a wall or a table or a door, it's great to do this there, because then you've got the wall to help you. So your left side, or your other side, if you've already done your left side, is going close to the wall. Left arm is behind you. That's it. And then slide your right arm around the back of your waist. Lift your chest. That's it, good. Press your left shoulder into the wall. This is a great one to do. It's quite strong, but it's a really good one to do if you crick your, when you get that crick neck when you've slept funny. It really releases around there. Okay, and then release that arm. Shoulders rolling back and down. Anything that we do together here, because we're on Zoom and I can't hear you squeaking or breathing, if it feels too strong, you just come out, just stand straight and wait for everybody else to finish, because you're all at different levels here. So don't worry, if I'm rabbiting on and you're in pain, come out of the pose. Okay, so you would repeat that a couple of times, and again, that would help to release any tension in this shoulder joint. It also helps with the tension here in the shoulder blade area, which is where you get the crick in your neck as well. So it's really good for the neck as well. Okay, so now we're going to come on to this one. We did this one last week, and again, those in the chair, you can just sit in your chair and try and get your arms to go round the back of the chair, or see if you can interlock your fingers, or maybe hold a wrist or a belt and take the arms behind you. If you've got a yoga strap or just a belt or a tie, you can hold that, even a towel. You can even use a towel. This is a yoga belt. So if you can't catch anywhere near the wrist, you can hold like this. Hold on to something and pull the arms back. That's it. Now, because we've all got our devices, watch that you're not leaning into it. So move the arms back, lift your chest, and try to look just above eye level with the back of your skull in line with your tailbone, so that you're not doing that. And keep the arms moving back. A few more breaths, lift the chest. and then release and come out. Good. So 3 very simple things to do to release the shoulders. Now we're going to come on to the hands now in a bit more details. We've done a little bit of this spreading already, but the next thing you're going to do is to take the hands, both hands to the wall, and just press the palms with the arms straight like this, so the body's upright. Again, if you can't stand for long periods of time, and even having the hands on the wall is too much, you can sit in your chair and put your hands like that on the wall, all right? So go up to the wall, put your hands flat against a surface, see that the middle finger is going straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe move... Lady, hang on a minute, I can actually get names here, I think. Let's see. So maybe Dillis, go to the right of your picture so that you can put your hands a bit, or to the left, yeah, like that, and have your hands, have your hands a bit closer together so that they're not under the picture, and you can have them a bit higher up. Yes, like that, and straighten the arms. So push the palms forwards, keep the legs nice and firm. So some of you might even like to try bringing the legs together. If the balance is tricky, keep the legs apart. But if you bring the legs together, you can squeeze them against one another and keep spreading the roots of your fingers, heel of the hand into the wall. Spread all your fingers, keep your shoulders down. Now from there, try and turn your hands outwards. Turn the fingers outwards. Yes, so both hands are facing out to the sides. All right, now this one, you're going to love this one. Not. Turn the fingers so they face downwards. And feel that stretch on that inner elbow to the inner wrist. So those of us with the, that do a lot of computer work, yes, I can see you shrugging your arms there. It's quite strong, but it's really good medicine for those tight wrists. Okay, and then release the arms down. When you do wrist work, as I say, it's strong medicine, so it really helps all of this area. When you take your hands away, don't shake your wrists, because you've just opened up all of these ligaments here, and if you shake the wrist, you can sometimes ping it. It's much better to just stand there with your hands like this, or even your arms out to the side, and let the blood come back, circulate back more gently than shaking them. Don't shake your wrists. So let's try that one more time. So hands forwards, fingers up. And have the hands a little bit wider if you can. Some of you got your hands quite narrow. And then turn the fingers out and try and connect all the roots of the fingers. Those of you that want to go a bit further, walk your feet back and have more weight on your hands. If the wrists are problematic, then use your common sense, which I'm sure you've got tons of, and then turn the fingers down for the final one. And try and get all the roots of the fingers turning down. Yes, so letting you just go in your own time. That's it. Well done. Try and keep the elbows straight. And then when you come out, just stretch those fingers down. You'll want to, you probably want to shake your wrists. I know it's kind of like an itch, isn't it? But see if you can just stretch the fingers down and let that blood come back naturally. That's it. All right. Well done. Okay, so a little bit of work there on the wrist. Now we're going to come down to, some of you wrote to say that you're happy on the floor. Some of you wrote to say you're not happy on the floor. So I'm trying to think of everybody here. Let me show you the full thing, and then we'll work up from the floor. So those of you that can come down to the floor on your hands and knees, you're going to do the same actions on the floor. So it's quite different now. Those of you that can't bear to put your knees on the floor, but you're quite happy with a blanket, put a blanket under the knees. And those that prefer to be here, you can be on the chair, okay? Those of you that can't sit on the floor at all, you take your chair, and you can have your hands again on the wall and just work on that. All right, so hopefully that covers as many people as possible in this group. So if you can manage, go down to the floor now, and you're going to do exactly the same movements. Fingers facing forwards, fingers turning out, fingers facing back. But the other thing you're going to do here is tuck your toes under. So we're flexing, we're going into the feet a little bit now as well. All right. So I've got my knees under my hips, I've got my hands under my shoulders. If this is too much and you're not sure what to do, just watch or just sit in the chair and go to the wall. But keep the toes tucked under everybody, if you can. Yeah. Now turn your hands outwards if you haven't done already. Keep the hands quite wide, about sort of shoulder width apart. That's it. And roll the weight from the little finger to the thumb. Try and connect all the knuckles to the floor. And then the worst one, or no, sorry, I shouldn't say worst, should I? The more challenging one is to take the fingers all the way back. And this is quite strong. So don't be surprised if your body doesn't want to do that yet and you have to turn the hands out slightly. You know, go in degrees. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to the feeling in my wrists. So my fingers go all the way back. But it's the strongest medicine there is for the wrists. Carpal tunnel, ganglions in the wrist. So this will get rid of them straight away. Okay, and then release and come out. And just watch for a minute. So if you need to come up, just watch. And I'll show you what we're going to do next. Now, again, we've got different people, different things. Some of you are very experienced, I know, and you might be very happy to just go straight up into downward facing dog. Those of you that are here for the first time and can't weight bear, you're just going to stretch your buttocks back towards your heels and come forwards. Just a few times like this, rocking backwards and forwards. That's Shilu, by the way, has just come in. Some of you can do your downward dog, okay, and just go up and down, downward facing dog. And those that are on the chair, you can just go forwards and backwards like this towards the chair. All right, all different things for different people. If you haven't done downward facing dog before, if you're pretty strong in your shoulders, have a go. Otherwise, practice this one. Okay, so I'm going to just show this one. You're going to stretch the hips back and come forwards. Fingers are pointing forwards, knuckles are pressing down, and you're just going backwards and forwards with the toes tucked. So we're stretching the bottoms of the feet, the toes, the hips, the spine. If you've got arthritic toes and you can't bear that, just let your toes relax and do the best you can. Yeah, those of you that can take the knees off the floor, just keep moving. Don't hold this for too long. Just keep moving up and down. Unless you're very happy in this pose and you can stay in downward facing dog. Okay, and then one more movement back and then come up. Walk your hands back to your knees and then come up and stand up. Okay, good. So the chair is really helpful, and the thing about the chair yoga is there are different, I just want to address this quickly, there are different classes called chair yoga, but in Iyengar yoga, which is where I come from, my lineage is Iyengar yoga, this is where the chair was first brought in to yoga, and we use it to help people to be able to do all of the poses. So all the props are there to help everybody achieve the same result, okay? So that nobody has to feel like they have to sit to the sidelines. And we use it in a slightly different way. So we don't do a whole class just sitting in a chair, although some people do need that. So all of these poses, these modifications I'm giving you, are for those that need that assistance. And it's sometimes good, even if you're experienced, it's sometimes good to know how to do these poses with a chair, because you might have a friend that needs it, or you might one day, like I had an accident once and I had to do some poses with the chair. So it's just good to know that. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to explain why I keep explaining how to use the chair. Now, let me just show you this. Having said that, if you need the chair for balance when you're standing, you can hold the top of the chair like this. You can stand up with the top of the chair turned around, okay? Or you can put your hands on a table now, because we're going to come back to standing. You can also put your hand on the wall for balance, but what we're going to do here is address the feet, and we're going to go up on our tiptoes and come down onto our heels and try and get our toes off the floor. And we're going to rock like this a few times. So I don't know about you, but I find this quite challenging to do it without the wall, but I can. But for some people that's not possible. So you use the wall or you use the chair to help you. And just see if you can lift your toes up, all 10 toes, and your heels up. So I'm rocking backwards and forwards here. show from the side, like that. So go as high as you can on those tip toes and lift the toes up. Now you see how my bottom goes back at that point. See if you can minimize that when you lift your toes up. So try not to push your bottom back. It's not easy. Not easy at all. And just keep doing that. And that will, because I wasn't sure, there's somebody asked about the hands and the feet, and I wasn't quite sure what the problem was exactly, but this is a general massage, yoga practice for mobility in the hands and the feet, and of course the ankles as well. Okay, and then just stop there for a minute. Watch what I'm going to do with the foot now. So now we're going to pronate, supinate, pronate. So we're going to go out with one foot onto the little toe edge and then in onto the inner edge. Just one foot at a time, because I think it'd be a bit challenging to do both of those. Just roll from inner to outer. You can do this sitting on the chair, no problem at all. Same action. So when you roll inwards, has one sensation. When you roll outwards, you might feel the muscle here in the back of the lower leg working. And then swap to the other foot. So roll that foot in and out. So you're pronating, supinating the foot. That's it. So you're trying to lift the inner edge of the foot and the outer edge of the foot, noticing the difference in the muscle in the lower leg, and then come back to standing. Okay, it's a do-it-yourself massage. A lot of what we practice in yoga is very helpful. It's like going for a sports massage. In fact, I rarely go for a massage. I use yoga instead. Okay, so we're going to come on now to some leg extensions. So those of you that like lying down, you'll like this one. Let me show you. So those of you that have no problem at all lying down, you can go ahead, just watch what I'm going to do first, and then I'll show the people that need the chair the second variation. So what you're going to do is you're going to lie down on your back. You're going to bring your knee towards your chest. Those that have knee problems, hold around the back of the knee straight away. If you're okay, you can hold around the front of the knee. And you can either keep the bottom leg bent or straight. Okay? You're going to hold here for 8 breaths, 8 inhalations, exhalations. And then you're going to stretch that leg up for 8 breaths. You can hold around the back of the knee. You can hold a belt around the foot. You can hold the big toe. But the legs are straight. All right? Okay, so that's what you're going to do, those that can lie down. Those that need the chair, no excuse, okay? And if it's an armchair and you can sit in the front of the chair, you can even lean back so you're doing kind of the same as your friends there on the floor. And you're going to do the same thing, bending the knee towards the chest for 8 breaths and then stretching a leg out for 8 breaths. Okay? All right. So choose whether you're going to do the chair method or lie down. You can do this on the bed as well, actually. You know, if you can kind of half get to the floor. If you're doing the leg extension, don't worry about touching the feet. Hold the back of the leg or put a belt around the foot or something. But if you're doing the leg, if you've got the leg straight, try and open out the back of that knee into your hands or push the heel towards the ceiling, but hold on to the leg. Don't have the leg without support. When you've done your 8 breaths, bring that leg down and change legs. First, hug the knee to your chest for 8 breaths and make sure they're good long breaths. Don't hyperventilate. That's it. I can see lots of nice feet in the air now. Can't see many people anymore, just feet in the air. Okay, and then when you've done your 8 breaths with the leg bent, then stretch that leg up for 8 breaths. That's it. Have a go at straightening the other leg. Yes, I can see some there using a towel. Well done. Because it really helps to have that. The Pilates bands don't work, by the way, because they're stretchy. It's got to be something that doesn't give. Yes, because you need that resistance. Okay, has everyone done their 8 breaths on each leg? Oh, look, somebody's ready for Shavasana. Okay, no, so you can stay down, because while you're there, you may as well do it again. Okay, we may as well do it again. So this time, go straight for the leg up. So either holding with a hand, with a belt, And then stretch that other leg away. Stretch your bottom leg away. Take the leg straight up this time. Yeah, no bending the leg. So try and hold a belt or try and hold the foot. Don't have the leg stretched up on its own. Use a belt. So the straight leg, there should be one leg straight along the floor and one leg straight up in the air. Yes, that's it. That's it. Well done. And then change legs if you haven't already. This is a pose that you can do for quite a few breaths. You can change legs, you can repeat. That's good. That's lovely, Susanna. Yeah, I can see you've got a nice long stretch there. Lovely stretch in the back of the leg. Hope Katie's doing it as well, even though the camera's off. No, I'm working. All right. And then down you come, everyone, and release. And hug both knees onto your chest. Hug both knees onto your chest. Give the legs a good squeeze. If you're in the chair, you know, you can go forwards and hug the knees, or just sit upright. But keep lying down, knees towards the chest. Now, there's a bonus extra for you if you can manage this. And I do stress that, you know, lower back problem people maybe leave this bit out. But if you hold around the backs of your knees and then straighten both legs up towards the ceiling, just keep them vertical. Don't bring them, I know some of you are more flexible, don't bring them over your face. Keep the legs vertical, hold the backs of the legs or put the belt around the feet. Yes. Squeeze your legs together, shoulders down, chest open, eyes softly open, mouth softly closed. If it's too much, you just bend your knees onto your chest. And you can sort of, you know, stretch the legs up and down like that so that you get a taste of it without straining yourself. But if your legs are straight up in the air, just keep them there, squeeze the legs together. Now the more advanced ones, the ones that have got a practice of yoga, see if you can stretch your arms over your head. And hold the pose for a few seconds. Yeah, this is more advanced. This is not for the beginners. Yes, good. And if you're sitting, you can stretch the arms over. Well done as well. Okay, and then you can come down, roll to your side. Always roll to the side if possible to come up from the floor. Roll away from the heart side, and then come up. Okay. So. I know we've got questions at the end, so make a mental note of any questions, and we can look at them at the end. But if there's anything that's really bothering you, don't suffer. You know, do come out, or just, you know, raise a hand or tell me in the chat if there's anything that's really troubling you. So we're going to come to some seated poses now. If you're fine on the floor, just stay on the floor and I'll show you. If you need to come back to your chair because you can't sit, then you can use the chair for these as well, and I'll show that in a minute. But the rest of you that can sit, you're going to sit with your legs slightly apart to start with, slightly apart. If you find that your lower back drops like this and your legs are really tight, then put a cushion under your bottom so that you can sit up nice and tall and extend your legs away. Those of you in the chair, do exactly the same. You sit on the edge of the chair, I think we did this last week, and you just stretch your legs the same as everyone else, okay? So then you don't have to worry about getting down to the floor. Yeah, but make sure you're not leaning back in your chair, just sit up nice and tall. Okay, so getting lots of exercise today, getting up and down from the floor. So we've got the legs extended, feet extended. So here we go with these toes, mounds of the toes. I'll go back a bit more because someone's asking about the feet. So try to get the toes to spread as much as you can. There's a wonderful picture of a book, a yoga book for feet. One of the poses is for feet, and they've got all those, you know, those big fat marker pens. They've got marker pens in between each toe. I like to think of, you know, corks in between each toe. So you've got to drink a lot of wine and put a cork in between each toe. We don't do corks anymore, do we much? But There we go. Just imagine you've got a cork in between each toe and you're really trying to spread them out. Push your heels away, get that circulation in the bottom of your feet. Yeah, and press your knees down. Press your knees down to the floor. So I'm going to turn. We're going to do a little twist. Take the left arm up, stretch it as high as you can. Same for those on the chair, and stretch your arm across your right leg. Take your left arm across your right leg. Your right hand can come behind you. Turn towards your right side and turn your head and look over your right shoulder. That's it. Try not to lean back on your right hand. Keep your right hand close to your sacrum, close to your spine. Lift the bottom sternum bone towards the top sternum bone. That's it. And rotate the trunk as deeply as you can towards the right. Breathe in to lift your spine. Breathe out to turn. Breathe in to lift. And breathe out to turn a little bit more. And then come all the way back to the center. Face forwards. And now the other way. So you're going to stretch that right arm up as high as you can. Turn towards the left. Bringing that right arm across your left side. And you might find this side is easier to turn or more difficult. Just let the right arm drop. That's it. So you've got the right hand over the outer left thigh, if possible. If possible. And then you're turning the trunk towards the left. So I find this side, I'm a bit more resistant on this side because I've got scoliosis on the right. But some of you might find that this is your easier side. So turn and look over your left shoulder. Lift on the inhalation. Turn on the exhalation. And then come back to the front. Okay, now if you can take your legs wider, and you can do this in the chair as well, take your legs wider. This pose is called Upavishta Konasana. It means wide angle pose. So the legs are wide. If the legs don't go wide, that's all right. You just keep them as wide as you can manage. And we're going to do the same twist here. So now we'll take the left arm up again. Right arm is behind you. Turn, and you might not be able to get the arm over the leg because the leg's further out now. So you can bring that left hand in the center. If you're on the chair, you can just keep your hand, on the chair, holding the chair seat underneath you, and turn. So really good massage again for the paraspinal muscles, the twists. And it's also good cognitively because you've got to twist towards the right and the left. And sometimes we get that mixed up. So twists are good for the brain as well. Now just look over your left shoulder this time, over your left shoulder. So although you're turning to the right, turn your head to the left. And just feel how the neck spine gets a different twist from the rest of the spine. Keep turning the chest towards the right, but turn your head towards the left. And then take a deep breath in, lift the chest, and as you breathe out, spin your head all the way around to the right. You might find the neck is a bit softer. Come back to the center. Arms behind you. Take the right arm up. Stretch up as high as you can. Turn to the left. So we're turning the body, taking that right hand in front or across the left thigh if you can manage. And first of all, turn everything around towards the left. And then lift the chin slightly and turn the head and look over the right shoulder. So you're turning backwards with the head, but forwards with the chest. Keep the hand down now. Keep the hand down on the right hand is on the right thigh. See, I get my lefts and rights mixed up into this. The right hand is holding the left thigh, or it's on the floor or the chair. Now lift your chest high and turn your head, spin it around to the left. And see if you can look a bit further round. Good, and then come back to the center. All right, now one more twist, and this time those that can go further can follow with me. Otherwise, just repeat what we've just done. If you can take both arms up, stretch both arms up. If not, just turn. Don't worry if you can't take both arms up. Turn towards the right side, and then take the hands down and turn. Now those that can go forwards, keep this leg straight, go forwards and walk your hands towards your foot. And I know some of you are more experienced, you can catch your foot. Don't worry if you can't, it's not a competition with anybody else, just you and your body. So if you need to stay upright, you stay upright. If you need to just focus on the twist, you focus on the twist. But those of you that can, you can go forwards and release the head down towards your shin. That's it. Keep the weight even on the 2 buttock bones. And then slowly come up and release. Last side, we're going to stretch those arms up, lift up as high as we can. Press the heels and buttocks down, turn towards the left side. And then bring the arms down. And again, either stay with the twist or go forwards a little bit or a lot. And then you can press the palms down, you can hold the foot, you can release the head and neck. Or you can just sit and breathe. But try and relax your face. Obviously those with the lower back issues, sometimes the forward bends are challenging, so don't go into pain, don't push through. Okay, and then inhale, come up. Well done. And then hold the backs of the knees with your hands. If you're on the floor, hold here so that you're holding the knee ligaments and gently bring the legs in. When they've been stretched out for a long time, it's nice to let them have that softness in the backs of the knees and just have a very loose cross of the legs. Anyone with the hip problems, you just keep your legs straight. Don't have that rotation. Okay, see the animals are coming in now. They love the yoga practice, don't they? Okay, well done everyone. So we're going to stand up again now. And everybody's going to take a chair. Everybody's going to take a chair. So if you've got a dining chair or a stool or something, then grab it. If you've only got an armchair, you can make do with an armchair. But a sort of, oh yeah, stool's brilliant. Yes, nice stool there. A hard chair is better if you've got it. Okay, now we are going to sit. Let's see. I think we'll just sit in the normal way, the normal way on the chair. So we're going to sit facing forwards and we're going to turn towards the right. So again, twists, massaging that the paraspinal muscles all the way down. That will help with the neck, help with the shoulders. So we're going to turn to the right. So take the arms up and turn to the right. So if you've got a stool, you can put your arm behind you. If you haven't got a stool, you've got a normal chair, you have to put the hand on the side of the chair there and then press the back of the left hand against your right knee and push the right knee into the hand to help turn that chest and look over your right shoulder. Try not to let the knees go from side to side. Keep them parallel to each other. If you've got any problems in your pelvis, prolapses, things like that, you can keep the knees together. Yeah, any lower pelvic problems, you can keep the knees together. Squeeze your knees. Hip problems as well, squeeze your knees. Yeah. And sit up nice and tall. Lift the front spine, roll the shoulders back. Try and keep your buttocks still on the chair because sometimes when we twist, we shift the base. So if your knees aren't parallel, it means that you've shifted your hips. Okay, come back to the front. Take the arms up if you can. If not, it doesn't matter, you just twist. Turn to the left. Same action here. So I've got the back of my right arm really extended from the shoulder to the wrist to the fingertips, pressing into that knee, turning over and looking over that left shoulder. And press your feet firmly down. Lift your sternum bone, breastbone up. Keep the breath soft, smooth, fluid. And then bring the arms back. Well done, and sit up. So the next twist we're going to do, we're going to bend one leg. So you've got to slide a little bit further. So you're hooked on the edge of the chair and this leg is bent. Now, if you had any blocks or anything, I'm just going to show this because I know some of you have got a practice and have got equipment where you are. But don't worry if you haven't got this. This is just for those that have. You can put this foot up on blocks. My mum's got blocks, so she might be putting her foot on this. And then when you turn, you've got your hand closer to that outer knee. Otherwise, just keep the foot on the floor and turn. And then those with more advanced practice, you can come down into a forward bend. But this is quite strong on the lower back. So anyone with the back problems, don't try this yet. Just work on the upright twist first. Okay? Got that? So we're going to bend the right leg first. Either foot is higher up or just keep it on the floor. Take that left arm across and turn. The left leg is straight. The left leg is straight. So extend that left heel away. Right leg is bent. That's it. Yes, you've got it. Those that with a bit more flexibility, you can come down. And I'm holding the top of the back of the chair with my right hand. Like that. So it's nice strong action on the shoulders as well. Nice turn on the abdomen and chest. But again, don't go into pain, please. Just do what you can. Let your chin come away from your chest. Try and look back over your right shoulder. Okay, well done. And then come back. Bend both legs. Stretch the right leg out. Left leg is bent, or left leg up on a couple of blocks. And then turn towards the left. You take that left arm behind you if possible, or it might be just on the chair seat. And those that can slide down a bit further. That's it. And look back over your left shoulder. Head back a bit, some of you. That's it. Try not to let the head drop forwards. And don't forget to breathe. Good, well done. And then come back and come up. All right, so last thing on the chair is what we did last week. We did a chair forward bend. So this is a chair version of a more advanced pose. So you're going to come forwards over your legs and then take your arms through your legs and try and hold the chair legs. So from the front, I've got my feet nice and wide. And then I go forwards and I bring my arms through. And I try to hold the chair legs. Obviously, if you haven't got that kind of chair, don't worry. Just take the arms through as much as you can. Keep your knees pushing into your upper arms. If you can't manage to get down, you can just hold on the outside of the legs like this. You can fold your wrists, you can fold your elbows like that and just do what you can. And sometimes people need to be up here with the elbows on the knees and just gently let the back ease out if there's a very tight back. So all different levels of practice for every different type of body. And just to relax the lower back. If you need to come out, you just come up and just sit straight. Okay, and then everybody can come out now. And release. All right, well done. So again, I've got modifications for everybody. Let me show for the more advanced people first, and then they can go ahead and get into this pose. So if you've got some cushions, if you've got a bit of wall, this is a real treat, this pose, but it does take a bit of getting into in the first stages. So what you do is you lie down close to your wall and you bring your legs up the wall like this, and then you lift your hips up. You put something under your buttocks like that, and then you let your legs stretch up the wall. Okay, so it's a version of a pose, a version of an inverted pose. Now that's okay for those that can manage that. If you're not able to get down to the floor, I'll show you that in a minute. If you don't want to put your legs up the wall, if you don't have anything, then instead what you can do, but you're okay lying down, you can, oh sorry, wrong prop. You can go in front of your armchair, and I think we might have done this last week, and you put your legs on the armchair like that. It's very nice. Okay, get you to rest your legs there, and the weight of your thighs drops down into your pelvis, and it's really good for people with lower back issues because it spreads that area out. And then I think I showed this last week for those that really can't get down to the floor. You can lie on your bed, your sofa, or you put some cushions, or you might have an armchair anyway, and you sit in the front of the seat and you lean back with your legs straight like that, and you just let the arms rest down. Okay, so find Find something there you can relax and let the body rest for a few minutes. If you just want to sit quietly, that's okay as well. You can sit against a wall, sit against the chair. But rest is part of the healing process for the nervous system and for the tissues, for the brain. So do give yourself time to relax and let go. If you can't quite get your bottom to the wall, it doesn't matter. As long as you feel comfortable, that's all that matters here. Make sure though that the head is not getting thrown backwards. So some of you might need something under your head. Those that have the vertigo, definitely your head needs to be lifted higher. And if you just want to sit quietly in the chair, then do that. Let the legs drop down into the pelvis, those of you that have got the legs up. If you've got your legs on the chair, just let the legs completely relax. If you're sitting quietly, just see if you can close the eyes for a couple of moments, just resting the palms in your lap, and focus on your inhalation, exhalation. Focus on the breath. So although there's activity, obviously you're using your body to create movement, to create space. There is a moment as well where going inwards, focusing on your breathing, can really help with things like anxiety, restlessness, depression, particularly though anxiety and insomnia as well. Just focusing on the inhalation, exhalation can soothe the nerves. And it can even promote muscle relief when the muscles are fatigued, because in that process of exhalation, the body learns to soften. So I just want you to take another minute of soft, smooth inhalation, soft, smooth exhalation. Allow your mouth and tongue and throat to be completely passive. No harshness in the throat. Abdomen nice and soft. All right, well done. And then you can gently open your eyes, come back into the room. And when you're ready to come out, roll to your side and come out, or just sit up, or just open your eyes. And that's all for this afternoon. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me.